Everlytics Marketing Cloud gives you the power to build meaningful relationships with your target markets at the best marketing ROI. From email newsletters to digital invoices, SMS notifications, social sharing, and everything in between, Everlytic covers all your digital communication needs. Create content-rich, mobile responsive emails in minutes with our simple drag-and-drop editor, or get a head start by using one of our pre-built email templates that cover a wide variety of events. Automate a series of messages for easy lead nurturing, onboarding of new customers, or educational campaigns using our Drip Campaign Builder. Use A/B split testing to determine the best performing email to send to your database and get superior results from your campaigns. Ensure full integration of your overall marketing strategy and improve the reach of your campaign by linking to your social media accounts and track interactions on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Create more targeted campaigns by segmenting your database according to demographics or subscriber behavior. Compare and optimize the performance of your campaigns by using the powerful reporting tool. See how subscribers are interacting with your content, what devices they are using to read your emails, and where they are located geographically. Make reviewing before deployment simple with our workflow approval tool. Set up triggers to respond automatically to subscriber actions, such as sending follow-up emails, adding them to a list, or sending an internal notification based on an SMS reply. Also, keep the personal information in your database up to date by automatically sending an SMS to a recipient if their email address bounces, or allow your customer real-time access to update their profile. Create personalized multi-part SMS messages in seconds. Ensure compliance with our automated opt-out processing, and view replies. Make Everlytic a centralized hub for all your email and SMS communications. Get closer to your target market with Everlytics Marketing Cloud.
Okay, so you saw the demo video of what Everlytic is. It basically is a cloud software that allows you to do email marketing and SMS marketing. When I first started there, just to give you some background on myself, I started there in September 2015, and I was completely new to software, email marketing, and anything that had anything to do with the email marketing space. When I got there, I met the founder. His name is Sam Hutchinson, and he introduced me to a video called Why by Simon Sinek. And ever since I've been there, right up until today, he's asking me why. Why do we do what we do? Why do I work at Everlytic? Why would you want to send email and SMS marketing? And the answer really for me is that I love working where we work, and we built the software to make communication easier for companies like you. Why do you need communication to be easy? So that you can build relationships. But I think at the end of this, it's important for you guys to look at your own company and see whether email marketing is a fit for you. And if it is, are you doing it correctly? Again, why email marketing? The first thing would be that you can own your own data. So it's a specifically highly specified subscriber base that you have cultivated and that you have grown. Nobody else has access to it, and then you can send them the right information. Highly targeted campaigns, and the subscriber is in control. Let's get into each one of these more importantly. Own your own data. So what does this mean? You guys will use the tool to build a subscription base of people that you know want to email you. Alfred said before, he calls bullshit on the whole email marketing thing because he gets spam all the time and he just deletes it. But this isn't about spamming people. This is about getting people to subscribe to your newsletter. They're excited about receiving a newsletter from you, and they actually they look forward to receiving an information from you, and then they're going to engage. You can then use that information to send them more emails and more targeted information. highly targeted campaigns. So this is really about using the tool to communicate what's best for you. If you're communicating to consumers, promotions, newsletters, free coupons, those are the things you're going to want to be sending. You get an email from clicks, it's most probably going to be about products that you want to buy. But if you're communicating with other businesses, so you're a B2B communication, you're going to want to send thought leadership messages that really communicate to them and get them to trust you about the stuff that you're sending out so that they'll want to buy your product. The subscriber is in control. So I'll keep going back to Alfred because he doesn't believe in email marketing and he feels like his phone has just become a wasteland of emails and SMSs that come in that he doesn't read. But the subscriber really is in control. If you don't want to receive information, you unsubscribe. And things like that happen automatically on Everlytics. So if the client says, I no longer want to receive information from this person, they automatically get switched off. And that makes the person feel like, okay, I can manage the information that's coming into my inbox, and I like the information that's coming into my inbox, and therefore they're more receptive to the information that you're sending them. Okay, so the two research tools that we've used to base this information on are the benchmarks report we did in 2015. So we asked a bunch of questions about what kind of email marketing people were receiving and how receptive they were to it, and also the effective measure research. So we took all the communication that's been done in Everlytics, and we saw the different rates that were going up and down. Just to give you an indication, at our highest capacity, we can send up to 78,000 emails a minute. So we know what's being delivered in South Africa, and we know how to deliver it to the right inbox. The first thing we'll look at is the effective measure research. 84% of people read their emails first or second when going online. So these are purely South African stats. These are based on people who answered the questions in South Africa. And that to me is a huge number. And if you think about yourself, when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do, pick up your phone, check your Facebook, or check your emails. And a lot of people, what they're doing is now they'll scan the important emails, they'll get to work, they flag things that they want to have a look at, and then they go back to them. I know, for example, my favorite online shopper sends me a mail every Tuesday morning. I flag it. When I get to work, I go and I have a look. Don't tell my boss, but I look at what's on special, and I definitely buy from those mailers. The second thing is that 65% of people are using email to share information. So this tells me that people are trusting the mails that are coming into their box, but they also want to share that information with other people. So if I get a mail that's interesting to me, I want to share it with my friend, and I know she's going to open it because she trusts the source that it's coming from. 63% of people prefer to receive their promotional messages via email. And this ties back to the subscriber being in control. They prefer to receive promotions in a place where they know they can control it. They can manage their inbox, they can unsubscribe if they don't want the information, and then they feel in control. The subscriber wants to know what's going on, but they don't want to feel like they're bombarded. So they really have to feel like they've got the control to make those decisions. 87% of people trust email to receive their invoices and statements. So, for example, TransUnion uses Everlytics as a transactional platform to send their credit information. So if you sign up online and you want to know your credit rating, they'll send it to you, but they'll use Everlytics. And the reason for that is that we can send secure messages, we cannot open them, but we can deliver a vast amount of them in a short period of time. And then we can also give you tracking. So you want to know, John Smith received his invoice on the 5th of June and he opened it. So when he phones you on the 19th of June and says, I'm not paying because I didn't get anything, he's lying. 3 years ago, 46% of people indicated that they had purchased something as a result of seeing it in the mail. Today, 64%. And this was done quite a while ago, so I'm sure it's even gone up since then. 64% of people will go out and buy something because they saw it in a mail. So ask yourself, can you really afford to lose out on that 65% of consumers who are buying something as a result of seeing it in a mail? So the next thing you're going to say to me is, okay, that's great. I want to do email marketing, but I don't have a database, or my database is really small. So how do you go about growing it and growing it organically? Don't buy databases. Don't buy people who say that we've got a huge database of a bunch of people. That's not really the kinds of things we want to be doing. We want to be talking to people who say that they want to receive information from you. So good content, write white papers and do research that your customers will want to know about, and encourage them to download it. Put it on your social media platforms. Social links. So have a subscription form that ties right back into Everlytic on your Facebook page or your Twitter page or your LinkedIn page. And that way, people who are just browsing through and happen to see your Facebook page, or they see something you've posted and it says subscribe to my newsletter, they can click on it, and then it's a dormant amount of people that you haven't communicated with before. Running campaigns. So you guys can encourage contacts to sign up for your marketing list by saying things on Facebook and engaging with people that you haven't engaged with before. Okay, so that's all about growing your list. There was another slide there, but I think it's just disappeared into the mist, and that was really about doing competitions. So I know on social media the latest thing is win this prize, but to win this prize you have to like my page and subscribe to my newsletter. And that's how they hook you, because there's no way you're going to go back a month from now and be like, ugh, I'm not subscribing to this anymore. You'll continue to receive information from them, and that way they've grown their database by hooking you in with a prize or a promotion, something that's free. So now you've got your database and you want to communicate with them correctly. You want to start sending a campaign to the database that you know have subscribed to your information. It's all puppy compliant and everybody's signed in and everything's good to go, but you don't know where to start. The 3 things you have to focus on to get a ticket to the game. My boss Walter calls it a ticket to the game, because you are going to the game where all these consumers are at, and you need to know how to captivate them. Relevant content, responsive campaigns, and respect for your subscriber. Relevant content. So this really means sending, as I said before, the right information to the right group of people. You're not going to send free coupons if you're a B2B communication company. You're not going to be sending them promotional stuff. You'd rather send them thought leadership information. But relevant content also goes further than that. We have a thing called dynamic content. So you can build an if statement into the product which says, if this person said that they prefer shoes to bags, rather send them this part of the email. If they say that they prefer flowers to chocolates, rather send them this part of the email. So when you receive an email from the likes of NetFlorist and Clicks, it's based on your consumer behavior. It's based on what you've been buying or saying that you enjoy on. And that's really drilling down into sending information that the client wants to know about. I always talk about the Target example here. A gentleman in America went shopping at Target, and then the following week he got an email saying, we see what you've been buying, and we think you might also be interested in some nipple cream, some nappies, and a breast pump. And he was adamant. He was like, I cannot believe that they would do this. This is inappropriate. And he went and complained, and he said, well, sir, it might not have been you, but someone used your club card to buy baby products. Turns out his 15-year-old daughter was pregnant, and Target knew before he knew. So it's really getting down to sending information based on what information you're giving them. Dynamic content is what we spoke about before, so you can create one whole email and send different information based on what tier that client is in, what information they've given you, what product they like best. The next thing is responsive mails. I can't believe that we're even talking about it in 2017, but we still do have to remember that mobile is first. When you pick up that phone in the morning and you look at a mail and it's not responsive, so it's blurry, or you have to scroll down to have a look at it, or zoom in a million times, that's not a responsive mail, and you'll get very irritated very quickly, and you're going to tarnish the brand. So you have to make sure that you're sending mails that look just as nice on a phone and a tablet and the desktop, because chances are people are using different mediums to read their mails, and it's important to make sure that you cater for all of them. Everlytic can actually tell you 76% of your database opened their mail using their Apple phone. Not just a phone, their Apple phone or their Android phone. So if you're running a competition and you know that 97% of your readers are using Apple, you're not going to run a Samsung competition. Okay, so this is what I was talking about when I was saying Everlytic can help you decipher where your mails are being read. You can also look at the device being used, the geographical area. So you need to use this data and mine it to be able to say, right, okay, relevant information is what I want to be sending my clients. How can I use these stats to make sure what I'm sending them is relevant? If you send a beautiful mail and it gets delivered to 100% of your database, but only 10% of them click on the links in your mail, it means that your mail was boring and they didn't like anything that was in it. So you need to change it up. Use the information you're being given to then strategize on your mails. We also have a tool called the A/B split test. So you might want to test a different subject line or content or different image. You can split the database and see which one got read more. And then the following time you use that specific image or that specific subject line. So use Everlytic as a way to get smarter about your marketing. Some interesting stats that we did when we did that benchmark report, we had a look at everyone that was sending, and the average unsubscribe rate was 0.33%. So even though there's people like Alfred who are like, hate spam, it bothers me, only 3% of people are saying, I actually don't want to receive this information anymore. So how many of those people are actually getting those emails, reading them, and engaging with them? Complaint rates is even less. It's 0.49%. So it's really a small amount of people that are, and there's a big complaint button at the bottom, but hardly anybody clicks it. So that must mean that we're sending the right thing to the right people. Unique open rate is 25.92%. That's very high, considering that's a quarter of people that have opened your mail and seen what you've got on offer. Click to open is the percentage of people who received the mail and then clicked on that link. So that's that percentage I was talking about earlier. If you've got a high open rate but nobody's clicking on your links, maybe you need to reconsider what content you're sending. And then the click-through rate is 3%, 3.5. So this is people that are going from the email to your website and then following through. So you can actually put in your Google Analytics into Everlytic and see, right, I've sent this mail, the person clicked on the mailer, they went to my website, they bought a pair of socks, and they checked out and they paid for it. Return on investment on that particular email will be what you made using your Google Analytics. Respect your subscriber is the last thing. So make it easy to unsubscribe. Make it as easy as possible. Why? Because you don't want to be sending information to people like Alfred, because he's going to run around and tell everyone, you know that company, they send me spam mailers, they don't care about me, and it's going to tarnish your brand. So rather speak to people you know want to receive information from you, even if it's a small database. Start with a small and build it up. The more they want to hear from you, the more you're going to engage with them, and those people will turn into sales. Puppy. So this is kind of something that South Africans are new to, and we're still learning about it, but it's rife and it's real, and we need to respect it. The puppy is the protection of personal information, and we need to be careful that we are not buying databases. We aren't copying email addresses from the website, because if you're with a company like Everlytic that is fully puppy compliant, if we see that you're spamming clients and we see that you've got a high bounce rate, we will not send information from you, because we have other clients that are sending reputable information, and we want to keep it that way. So make sure that you're actually communicating with your customers and that you've gotten this information in the right way. I've heard lately that the fine is nearly up to R1 million if they catch you buying databases or stealing information of people that you shouldn't be communicating with. So where's email heading? Where's Everlytic heading, and why? The answer is automation. We want to make what you're doing as automated as possible so that you don't have to log in every day and create a new mailer. If someone subscribes, they can automatically start a drip campaign, a journey of communication that nobody has to actually physically and go and do, but it feels like it's personalized to the customer because it says their name, it's a birthday message on their birthday or their anniversary, and all of that stuff is done for you in the product. Drip campaigns. So those is what I was talking about. For example, if you get a new customer or a new employee and you want to onboard them to being a new client or a new employee, you would start a journey of communication. You set up email 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You spread them apart so you can decide 1 week, 1 month, a few days. And as soon as that person subscribes to that newsletter, they start that journey of communication. So nobody's actually logging in. Every time we've got a new client, I've got to send them that mail that we created. Nope. Every time they subscribe, they start that journey of communication and they find out more about your customer, about your company. Triggers and autoresponders. So we want to trigger autoresponders based on something a customer has done. They clicked on a unique email about jerseys. So you want them to know that you sell all kinds of jerseys. So you send an autoresponder based on that event. A birthday message. This is becoming more and more important because we don't want to feel like a number. We want to feel like the company we're using or the service provider knows who we are, they knows all about us, and they make us feel special. So birthday messages can be automated using the Everlytic product. A/B split testing, we spoke about that earlier, to test what kind of information you want to send out and see which one is receiving more reads. Subscription forms. Subscription forms is something we haven't really touched on, but it's a way of growing your database. So you would use the Everlytic subscription form on your Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter page. People would subscribe and automatically get added to Everlytic. So it's a full closed loop. They subscribe to your newsletter, they get added to the database, and then they start that journey of communication. SMS on bounce is something else that a lot of people use because you've got this list, for example, you've built a beautiful database, but it's about 10 to 12 years old. So how many of those email addresses are actually non-existent or the person is moved? The SMS on bounce is automatically triggered if you get a high bounce rate. So everyone will get an SMS saying, we see that we try to email you, but it didn't go through. Would you mind clicking on the update my profile link to update your information? And now you're starting to clean your database. So you've got a database, but it's a bit of a mess. So Everlytic will help you start cleaning that information by getting the new email addresses from the subscribers. Mobile. So we've created a software where you not only have to send email messages, but you can also send SMSs. So it's all in the same place. You can even create an email. To Hassan actually did this not too long ago. They had a bunch of phone numbers and a small amount of email addresses, but they wanted to send out the same communication across the board. So what they did was create a beautiful email, take the link, put it in their phone, send an SMS, and then the SMS gets sent to everyone. So everyone's got the same communication. You click on the link, you open the email in a browser, and then the people who receive the email will just open it like normal. So you've sent the same communication with the same message across to your entire database. Responsive design. So in 3 years, 2012 to 2015, so this was done 2 years ago, there's been a huge upping in how we read our messages, particularly in mobile. So if you're not communicating over mobile, then how much of those people are you missing out on? Where email is heading. So where we would like to be and where your company should think about being is an overall view of communication. Promotion. So you market yourself to your customer. Once you've got them as a customer, you share that you've got other products. So you lead nurture the leads that you actually have. You can use Everlytic for your ticketing system. So now you've got the customer and they've got an issue. I heard the other day that it's much better to have an issue that you respond to quickly than to have no issues at all, because it shows that you care, it shows that you do make mistakes, but that you're quick to respond. Cross-selling. Again, you can have clients in the sales system, but they're not really receiving that much information from you. So you set up a drip campaign, make sure they know everything you can do, and then they're receiving that you're top of mind because you're receiving information from them all the time. And then there's retaining. So they've been a customer with you for a long time. You want to make sure that they feel special and that you're communicating with them on a personal level. Personalize your emails, send birthday messages, and automate autoresponders that's based on something that gets triggered. Thank you.